Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel review, anything and everything. And today we're getting into another Ninjago Lego set, Dragons Rising, Young Dragon Riyu. This is set 71810, 132 pieces in it. It's a +6+ set. You can see here, it's a nice little dragon. It's pretty cool because I haven't really seen too many smaller dragons before that are a little bit more manageable to put together, yet they aren't already like molded. So, you know, in that case, it's a little easy, you know, you're still putting it together. So it gives you that vibe of still putting together a dragon similar to the big ones, but also less complicated. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna get into this. I'm not gonna do the unboxing right here because this is actually a gift to my son and he's gonna get into it. He's just recently gotten into building these. So he's gonna put it together and then I'm gonna do a review later on how he feels about it, and I will try to include some clips on his thoughts about it throughout the video. So stay tuned. Good job.
This person is longer than the regular minifigure.
That's because you gotta push his head down.
So now we need two more.
Yep, and then you're gonna put them on the opposite side. To become a master builder.
What do you have to do with this?
Let's see. That is, see, we finished this. This is the piece. You got these two pieces. It's that one. You have two of them?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's the dragon body. You need that piece now.
Which piece?
That one.
This one?
Yep. Awesome.
You can do this. You can make it go like up and down.
Yep.
Smaller tail, but I have bigger wings. No, I don't have bigger wings.
Hey everybody, we are back and with the finished build, and this is the Young Dragon Riyu. So what's interesting is he has a smaller mini dragon. I actually have one on hand, so let me just grab that real quick. This is from another set that I recently purchased that I'm going to review soon, but before I had a chance to review it, my son wanted to rip out this little guy and just have him. Now, what's interesting, and he doesn't come with this set, obviously, but he is that same dragon that you see behind us here, but he's just all grown up now. Now, essentially what happened is in the storyline, he starts off small. So I guess there's a couple of seasons. So this probably comes from a later season in which he's a lot more grown up. He's not as big as the really large dragons, but he's still a really good size. And we're gonna get into him and the rest of these guys in a moment. I am gonna switch angles a little bit so we can kind of see all these a little bit better. But just wanna quickly just say that this set was a really nice one. My son ended up putting it together. My other son, who was less into putting together the Legos, but he took it on the task and I was really proud of him, and he was really excited and he loves this whole thing. He loves it. He's always like, you know, I got, my dragon, Aaron, and all this kind of stuff. And he's just really loving it. So gonna dive deep into this in a second. All right, I just want to change up the angles a little bit, but first, before even getting into the dragon, I'm going to this time start with the minifigures. So this one right here is Sora. She's one of the main characters in the early season throughout, but yes. And what's interesting too is the other character, Aaron, is also the other main character, but in this set, since they're all older and more advanced, I guess at this point they're kind of a little more kind of matured inside the series. And I say that because recently I was watching with my sons this series and we finished season 1. So you can see that in the beginning, Sora and Aaron both were just kind of newbies, and now they've gotten to a point where I guess in this set where they're a little more, official ninjas. You can see her outfit there. And some nice on the back. You see her second face. I'm gonna take this off. You see her head there, which is interesting because they give her regular eyes and then the glowing eyes, because what happens is that she has an elemental elemental tech magic, or whatever you want to call it, something revolving around tech, where she's able to kind of like a technomancer or something like that with her energy. And essentially, when she does that, her eyes is glowing. So just want to show the back details on there. You can see, so she has a very like animated outfit, and she's got arm printing, which is also really cool. And also the fact that she's got a different color arm. I don't know if by this point in time, if her arm is like mechanical or what's going on. Because like I said, in the earlier seasons that we were currently watching, that wasn't the case, at least that I've seen. Let me put her thing fully back on. Now, what's interesting is this, with this one versus, I had recently reviewed a set with Lloyd in it, and it had a different type of holder for the swords. This one incorporates like the mask, the half mask with the holder. But what's cool is that the fact that they even incorporate these kind of things just makes the character so great, because they come with so much stuff between the holder as an accessory. You see she's got her headphones because that's how the character is. She's always listening to music. But you know, the holder, you have your swords, like each character has so much with them for like a basic character. I just think it's really cool. Sorry about that, you guys. We're gonna jump into Aaron now, and it takes so long to get through each figure because they have so much stuff. So he's got this kind of little hook type of weapon here, and he's got the sword just like her, the same type of like partial face mask. But then he also, you can see there the printing on him. He also has his helmet, which is cool, the spikes on it. A different helmet than the one I just showed with Lloyd. So that's cool too, that you have so many that are different. Let me move this out of the way because I think it's back focusing on that a lot. And let's see if I can get his head off of here. Okay. He has no second printing, which is fine. And you can see his face here. Now, one thing I will say that I'm not going to knock the set because it's not very expensive. Link's going to be description down below for Amazon. I think it's like about $15 or $16. But it would have been nice if he had a hairpiece because, you know, most of the time, at least in the beginning part of the series, he's running around with his hairpiece. But then again, I guess if you were following the seasons, because that's the thing about Ninjago, unlike many other series or many other shows or themes, I should rather say, for Lego, most of them aren't following a current show that's going on. So I say that to say, by following the time frame of the show, and as I mentioned before, that the earlier seasons, these characters are depicted differently. I'm sure that it was a case of they would expect you to already have a hairpiece because in the earlier sets, he would have had that before he was really a true ninja. And as he went through his time evolution, he became more of a ninja. And I'm sure all the older Ninjago sets were the same way, because in the very beginning, Lloyd was just a little boy who was not even the Green Ninja, and he becomes the Green Ninja. Very funny because very reminiscent, if anyone remembers way back, like the Green Power Ranger, very, very much similar, where the enemy becomes the good guy and he becomes one of the best of the good guys. But anyway, so once again, he has his whole thing to hold his sword and whatnot, his weapon, and we're going to get into the other figure next. And this right here is, let me just read it correctly. This is the Wolf Masked Warrior. And you usually get a lot of these guys who come inside the mix. So they have that mask. What's interesting with these guys, and once again, the dual molding on these masks are just incredible, giving just incredible value. You can see that one there, as well as Sora's was dual molded too, because you got the hair and then the headphones. But what you get with this is so nice for this Ninjago theme, where you don't get these kind of things necessarily with Star Wars, which is probably their biggest, you know, themed type of sets, and most other things, like at least not for this price. So I think that's actually really good. You see the printing on the front, the torso and the legs, the back. I don't have to take the shoulder pieces off to see that, but he's got two-sided heads. Now, the only thing that I would say that doesn't make any sense about this with the heads is that the head detail on there is really nice. If you have something extra to put on my hair, which I probably wouldn't make sense to be on him, but if you had regular hair that came down the back of his head, then it probably would kind of make sense, because then you'd have that kind of face where you could see this face or you could see that face. The problem is with the mask on, it doesn't make sense because this covers everything. So I'm not really too sure where they were going with that, why they even included two faces. I think it would have been better just to have one face print if you're not going to give him some kind of headpiece that allows you to see that, to cover up the back of his head while showing the front. So that's that. You get a lot of these ones inside sets. I just want to display this. I know this hair won't fit, like look good on him or anything like that. I'm just doing it for the purpose of, I wanted to just show you that if the back was covered, you wouldn't be able to see that, and then you'd have, you know, be able to change up what the face looks like. In that case, he'll be like that way, and this way he'll be like that way. So, you know, if you have an additional regular hair piece and you want to do that, I would imagine that you can. But now getting into the dragon, sorry that it's taking so long, but I think this dragon looks nice, and he's different from the previous one that I reviewed, which was Lloyd's green dragon. It's a different shape, and that's great, because one thing with Ninjago is that all the dragons just feel so different. Once again, they use some kind of like sword or some kind of like weapon type of thing for the back of the tail. This one doesn't have as long of a tail as Lloyd's green dragon, and his wingspan is also not as wide, but he definitely has a more shorter stumpy body, but he also has 4 legs. So where Lloyd's dragon only has 2, so he can stay on all 4s. This one actually came with stickers for the scales over here, which is fine. That part I think is hard for a kid to put on. So I think the whole 6+ thing, for that, I didn't let my kids put that on because I knew that it would get messed up, and I didn't want to take that risk. Maybe they could have done it, but I didn't want to take that risk, because once you ruin it, it's ruined. But definitely I love what you get for here for the price. This one can ride 2 riders, one right there. So Aaron, and then Sora goes right there. And yeah, I just think that, once again, even if you're not a Ninjago fan or a collector, I think that the dragons look very nice in these sets. And these are just the smaller ones. You can imagine when you get to the bigger ones, like how great they would be, huge they are. And for the value, most of the really big ones sometime are ranging for $60, you're getting huge ones. For $30, you're getting pretty big ones. And obviously for the price of like $100 or better, you're getting ones that are so huge that they literally will tower over even say the 3-in-1 castle set, the new Horse Knight castle set. So that's definitely impressive. So as always, you guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.